Hey planner friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning from the 31st of October to the 6th of November in my medium passion planner. Let's get started. So the kit that I'm using this week is Trick or Treat from Paper Chic Plans, and this is my last spooky spread for the year. Before we get into the actual plan with me, I do want to give a bit of a content warning for this video. I'm going to be talking about animal medical emergencies and medical treatment throughout the course of this video. So if that's not something that you think you can deal with right now, then either mute me and just watch along and put your own music on, or I will just see you next week. So this week has basically just been one of those weeks where everything goes wrong and my pre-planning pretty much doesn't count for anything. I think I used more undo in this spread than I have in the entire rest of my planner this year, because sometimes things happen that you just can't plan for. And I figured I mentioned right at the beginning, although I am going to be talking about like medical treatment and medical emergencies for Reggie basically for this video. He's doing okay. He's currently still in hospital when I'm recording this on Sunday, but he's doing so much better than he was earlier this week, and we're hoping that we can bring him home in the next couple of days. While I've been talking, I've been setting up the pen base of my spread, so as always I've shaded in the parts of the timelines when I'm going to be asleep, and then used my grey Stabilo fine liner to mark in my alarm times and split my personal and work to do sections in half to give myself extra checklist space for each day of the week. I've then marked in my work hours using my blue passion marker, which is going to be my theme colour for November, but I'm using my orange passion marker in the bottom left hand corner because this page still fits in the October section of my planner. So I've written in my meals for the week using my Pilot friction pen, and now I'm adding in the days of the week into my checklist section to have a checklist box for each day of the week. I'm then going to highlight over all of the checkboxes in the bottom left hand corner with the chisel tip side of my orange passion highlighter, and then use my blue passion highlighter to highlight all of my meals and colour in the daily focus boxes of days where I'm not going to be at work. In previous crossover weeks, I've coloured in all of the days in one month in that month's theme colour, and then all of the days in the following month with the new month's theme colour, but because there was only one day in October this week, I decided I'd just use blue for the whole lot. So that is it for my pen base. Now we can start putting down some stickers, and as always I'm starting with my meal plan tracker, which is just something that I make in Excel and print off on sticker paper myself. I've then got one of the half boxes from the kit, and I've cut a little chunk out of the middle of it so that it fits nicely within the weekly focus box. Because this was a horizontal cut rather than a vertical cut of a box, it was a bit more difficult to line up because I'm not used to it, so I did have to play around with this one a little bit. The join ended up being a bit messy, so I've just covered it up with a big bit of deco from the kit. I'm then going to finish off my sidebar with my habit tracker for my daily check-in and a decorative box to cover up the quote section. As the paper in this kit is not removable, I was trying to make sure everything was down perfectly before I actually stuck it down, just so I didn't end up ripping my planner or anything. Little did I know I would end up moving around so much stuff from this spread. For my washi headers, I've cut two 7mm strips and one 6mm strip from the thick piece of washi, and then I'm just covering up my Space of Infinite Possibility header and my personal and work to do list headers with the 7mm strips, and using the 6mm strip to create my extra gratitude header in the bottom left hand corner. I then completely forgot to add in my weekend banner until I'd already set up Monday, so I'll add that in a minute. But now we can get into my plans for the week, and I'm going to talk through what actually happened rather than what I'm putting down for my pre-planning. So Monday was Halloween. I'm using a work sticker from the kit and covering up the word work with some deco to mark that it was Halloween in the daily focus box. And then I was also duty scientist at work, so I'm using a skinny event label and a Joy of Planning scientist girl to mark that in as usual. When I was at work on Monday, my boyfriend messaged me to say that Reggie seemed a bit off and he wasn't very happy. He seemed like he had a bit of a tummy ache, and he is prone to getting sick because he eats random stuff out of the garden, so I wasn't super worried. But over the course of the evening, Reggie started yelping like he was in pain, and he still wasn't eating, and he really didn't enjoy his walk. So we took him to the emergency vet, and the vet said, yep, it seems like he's got a bit of a stomach issue, but there is a stomach bug going around our area for dogs at the moment. So she sent him home with some probiotics, gave him an anti-nausea medication, and also gave him some special food to try to kind of settle his stomach. On Tuesday I was working from home, so I used a scalloped header and a work from home script and planner face to mark that in. And then I also had some meetings, so I'm using quarter boxes and icons from the kit to mark those in. It seemed like Reggie was feeling a lot better this day, so he was eating again and he was happier on his walk, so I was feeling really positive. I went to the gym in the evening, so I'm marking that in with a Pinky Stickers principle and a leg day script and planner face, and then I also did the filming that I'd originally planned to do on Monday, which I marked in using a squished half box from the kit with a big bit of deco. Unfortunately, as soon as the anti-nausea injection that Reggie had had the day before wore off, because it was supposed to last for about 24 hours, he started seeming like he wasn't having a good time again. On Wednesday we were supposed to be getting our boiler replaced, but that had actually moved to Friday after I set up this spread. But instead on Wednesday I woke up with a sore throat, and my work requires that I have a PCR test before I go back to work. So I had to get a PCR test, but I had all negative lateral flows, so we continued basically with the rest of the week as normal, except I was working from home. By Wednesday lunchtime I was really concerned that Reggie seemed really upset, so we got him another vet appointment for after work, and the vet said that she now thought that it was acute pancreatitis and that he needed to be admitted. They were asking us loads of questions about his medical history and stuff, because we haven't actually had to take him to the vets yet, and we just don't know because he was a stray, so there's a lot of stuff that we just can't answer. Initially we thought that he was just going to have one overnight stay at the vets and then he would come home on Thursday, but when I got the call from the vets on Thursday morning to say that they wanted to do like an ultrasound scan to check his gastrointestinal system, I knew that he was probably going to be in the vets for a bit longer. So on Thursday we just went to see him after work and spent like an hour just sat on the floor with him, and he was so out of it because he'd been sedated that day, and I just wanted to cry the whole time. On Friday I was still working from home, but I had a couple of meetings, and again I'm marking those in with like deco and boxes from the kit. My COVID PCR came back negative as expected, and we got our new boiler this day, so we started feeling like things were moving in the right direction. We went to visit Reggie again in the evening, and he seemed a lot more with it. He seemed a lot more himself, like he was prancing around a little bit rather than just kind of slumped down. He was still on a lot of pain medication, but I think he wasn't so woozy. They had been worried that because of the pancreatitis his digestive system had slowed down, so nothing was going in, nothing was coming out, and this day he did his first poop since like Wednesday. So again, really feeling like there's a little bit of progress each time we go and see him. On Saturday I went to weightlifting, and I really couldn't concentrate because I got a call from the vets while I was at training just to give me an update on how Reggie was doing, so we went and visited him straight after weightlifting. My training had been kind of rubbish just because my mind wasn't there, and I was having a lighter week because as soon as everything went wrong on Monday I was like, I can't do a really heavy week as well. On this day Reggie was starting to seem more interested in food, but he still hasn't really eaten, which is a little bit worrying, but as I said, it's kind of baby steps and he is starting to seem more interested in it. So I'm hoping when we go see him this evening on Sunday that we'll get him to eat some food. It's also probably not helping that it's bonfire night this weekend, so there's been loads of fireworks which he absolutely hates, and he's in a place that he's not used to. I did get a text first thing this morning that they are reducing his pain medication, and basically as soon as he doesn't need the IV pain medication anymore, then we can bring him home. So now I've moved on to Sunday, and this is the day where the pre-planning kind of works. So I'm using one of the 3 checklist boxes from the kit to mark in a chunk of time for cleaning, and at the moment I'm recording this voiceover before I start trying to do any cleaning and stuff. And then I'm using a little thing with a YouTube button icon from Ickle & Co and an upload script and planner face to mark in uploading this video, hopefully. We'll see how today's visit with Reggie goes. One of the reasons that I haven't mentioned anything about this on my Instagram is because I didn't want people to talk to me about it, because it's been such an emotional week. As usual, I'm using decorative boxes to fill in some of the space when I'm going to be at work. As you can see from this box that I'm laying down now, there is blue colour in some of the decorative boxes, which is why I thought it would work, with most of this week being in my blue November theme. But you know, still spooky, because this week was terrifying. Because this week was using both my October and November colour themes, I decided that my dots for my top 2 or 3 things I get done at work each day would be in my orange passion marker, which was my theme colour for October. I wasn't 100% sure on doing this, but I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go, and I actually really like how it's turned out. I feel like it's kind of married the 2 colours together for the week. I've also then half cut some of the solid pieces of washi from this kit to just fill in a little bit of the space when I'm at work, so where I've just got like an hour's worth of timeline space around my checklists for my things at work each day. So now that I've got all of my stickers down, I can go back in and fill in all of my plans for the week, as usual using my Pilot Friction pen. As I already mentioned, this week was one of those weeks where just everything seems to go wrong. So obviously I've spent a lot of this plan with me talking about Reggie and how he's been doing this week and all of the just emotion that has gone along with that. But also we had plans for some work to be done on our house, which was to get our new boiler sorted, and that has now been installed and is working, and that's all happy days. But you know, every time you get some work done on your house, it just opens up another can of worms of things that need to be fixed. So when they were up in the attic doing things for the new boiler, they realised that there was a tiny little leak in the roof which we need to get fixed because we're going into winter, so that's a whole nother thing to deal with. And then also there was a little bit of a leaky pipe which we need to get a plumber in for, and our new boiler will create high pressure hot water, whereas our old boiler was like low pressure, like a water tank, so our shower doesn't work with it anymore because our shower was designed for low pressure input. And then to top it all off, our fridge freezer just decided to completely break down this week, and it's still in warranty, so we can just get a replacement, but anything like this always takes time, so we currently don't have a fridge freezer and we have had to throw out like everything that was in the freezer. Thankfully my boyfriend has been an absolute star this week and he's dealing with all of the household stuff so that I can just focus on Reggie because I can't focus on anything else at this point. So just as an example of how just lost and messed up I've been feeling this week, especially this weekend, I've been planning consistently for almost 3 years, maybe a bit over 3 years, and I haven't set up for next week. And at most I'm going to set up the base and then memory plan it because I don't want to put a load of plans down on paper. They're just going to go out the window like they did this week. My focus for this week was I just wrote Happy Halloween because I thought this would be a pretty standard week and it has been anything but. But that is all of my pre-planning. Let's take a look at the finished spread. So here's the spread all filled out and I really liked this kit. I was really excited to use it. It's something a little bit different to what I would usually use because it's all muted colours, and I feel like it's just been used for the worst week. Our little Reggie has been such a brave little trooper though. He's doing so well. And I'm so proud of him because he's usually quite anxious in situations that he's not used to, and he's been such a good boy. I mean, look at him strutting around the vets like he owns the place. So that's everything for this video, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!